strongest term that it was a trespass to the government property.
The nature of the dispute is such that any attempt to enforce the orders of the court might result in the sort of things that you saw yesterday, because of the numbers of people involved, the size of the property, and the history of the dispute. But as yet, we have not been given a date by the Court of Appeal. But I've sent them a reminder that it is very, very important that this matter, which in my view is a public interest issue, should be disposed of as soon as possible.
In other news, the Ministry of Health will soon begin implementing a Jigger eradication policy in the counties in a bid to curb the menace. During a public sensitization exercise in Busia County, it was revealed that 6,000 people in Busia County are infested with jiggers, majority being children and the elderly. Poverty and poor hygiene have been cited as some of the factors that have contributed to the infestation.
During a public sensitization forum on Jigger infestation in Busia County, organized by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with the county government and Hadi Kenya Foundation, it emerged that Butula and Teso sub-counties are the most affected.
There's one particular family that has presented itself. It has actually been affected, the whole family. All people are cases of Jigger infestation. So we are looking upon the political class and also the entire, all the government structures to put in structures to enable the communities to be able to fight this menace.
Hadi Kenya Foundation Chief Executive Officer Stanley Kamau said implementation of a Jigger eradication policy will help wipe out the disease that is prevalent in rural areas.
For us to be able to fully eradicate jiggers, we need to empower these communities, and not only mean by creating livelihoods or creating economic empowerment projects. It means that we also need to empower them with information, we need to empower them with the basic needs, and we need to empower them with the know-how on how to be able to eradicate jiggers.
Busia County Chief Officer for Health Jonathan Ino said they will set aside a budget to cater for treatment of those affected.
Sisi kama serikali tumeweka pesa kiasi fulani kwa bajeti yetu na tumeidentify zile areas zote zenye ziko affected. Tutakuja kufanya procurement ya zile madawa ya kufanya fumigation, kuspray kwa manyumba, ili tupate kupeana wa community health volunteers so that wapate kuvisit those households. Ile jambo la kwanza ni kutibu wale wote wenye wamepata hizo jiggers, ili tukate the transmission circle, tuweke barrier.
Frederick Muki for Lunchtime News.
In other news, Deputy President William Ruto led a delegation of Kenya Kwanza allied leaders to a meeting with U.S. officials in his ongoing U.S. tour on Thursday. Issues of strategic partnership between USA and Kenya were discussed, including sustaining Kenya's trajectory as a constitutional democracy. Among the DP's entourage were ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi, Nakuru County Senator Susan Kehika, among others.
During the meeting held Thursday between U.S. officials and DP Ruto's Kenya Kwanza-led delegation in the U.S., United States Assistant Secretary of State for Africa, Molly Fee, assured that Kenya can count on its voice in safeguarding democracy and advocating a free and fair election in August 2022.
What is critical to the people of Kenya in this election is our democracy and the importance of Kenya being a nation governed by the rule of law, constitutionalism, and building on our past to complete our democratic transition.
He further underscored Kenya's position as an anchor state for peace and stability in the East and Horn of Africa region, but cautioned against political and economic exclusion that threatens the country's revered status in the region, two issues he termed as core in the August 2022 election.
We are all determined to make sure that this election is not about what is the need for leaders only. It's going to be about what is in it for the people of Kenya. And the people of Kenya will be making choices informed by the body of information that's available to them.
Ruto, together with his Kenya Kwanza team counterpart Musalia Mudavadi, further committed to a peaceful election, assuring the US of a steady partner in the bilateral relations between the two countries. Also in the delegation, Kandara MP Alice Wahome and Presidential Campaign Head of International Relations Ababu Namwamba.
So shift focus to education matters, where an estimated 1.2 million pupils sitting the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education examinations on Monday next week today held rehearsals. The 2021 KCPE exams will be conducted for 3 days under stringent supervision. Meanwhile, a section of leaders in Baringo County want the national government to beef up security ahead of the exams. Purity Musel with the details.
The 2021 Kenya Certificate of Primary Education examinations will be written between March 7th and March 10, 2022, while the 2021 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE will be conducted from March 11 to April 1st, 2022. Rehearsals for the KCPE exams were conducted on Friday across the country. In Tigoni Primary School in Kiambu County, the rehearsals kicked off smoothly as candidates were taken through how to conduct themselves on Monday.
Naangalia ya kwamba watoto wote wako shule na tunatumia hii record kuangalia wako na kuhakikisha rules zote za mtihani wanazielewa, tunawakumbusha ndio Monday ikifika KCPE day ni kufanya tu mtihani.
We are fully prepared, these learners. They've been bought textbooks, coverage of syllabus have been done in good time, so we can say we are ready for this exam.
At the same time, leaders in insecurity-prone areas of Baringo County want the government to reinforce security in the area ahead of the national exams.
Hii kasi ya wakora inashambulia area hii mpaka lini, na tumeumia hata mashule ya Kapturo kuanzia hata leo hakuna mtoto hata mmoja.
Hata jana tulisikia marisasi, tulikuwa shule tukasikia marisasi, hatusome vizuri kwa shule.
Ningependa kuambia serikali watusaidie, watupatie ili tukae kama wale wengine ambao wako mashule sahizi.
On his part, Rift Valley Coordinator Mali Mohammed has assured government support to the affected learners.
We have exams beginning this week or next week for primary again and for secondary. And we have a serious problem where our young people are not likely to access the examinations and be able to face the future because of that displacement.
On Sunday, a student from Tuyo Teach Mixed Secondary School was killed by bandits while herding in Simoni area. While in Migori, a total of 35,552 KCPE and 22,689 KCSE candidates have registered for the exams. On Monday, the learners will begin with mathematics and English subjects. Science and Swahili will follow on Tuesday, while the exams will end on Wednesday with social studies and religious education. 1,225,693 candidates are registered for the KCPE examinations. Purity Museo, Lunchtime News.
We do wish all the candidates success and God's blessings. Very well. Now we are due for a fast break, but we'll be right back with more news on the other side of this breather.
Hivi unakuja tunapiga chini navutanga peke yangu saa ngapi?
Mnavuta na nani?
Na huyu tunavutanga na yeye.
Nakulisha na mnaifi mimi ni papa yako.
Yo auntie,
Take a chill pill, man.
Anaongea ni kama mnakulanga bangi na matao. Mnaweza mpima tafadhali.
Hiyo bangi wewe ndio umekuwa ukinipea.
Akili ni nywele. Si ni kweli?
Lakini ndio nimesema wale
between me and you. Nani yuko na akili? Take me home, take me home.
Where is your home?
Prison. That's my home, yes.
Amezoea mheshimiwa.
Kwani kumtaja Allah tabaraka wa taala ni Mwenyezi Mungu kutupa direction ya kuwa sisi tupate usalama wa hapa duniani na kesho akhira.
Kitendo ambacho ni chema zaidi ya vitendo vyote, ambacho kinaweza kuongeza daraja ya binadamu mbele ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, na bora hata zaidi ya kupigana jihadi, ni kitendo cha kumkumbuka Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. إذا السماء انفطرت صلاة زوتنا سلام زم فيكي هاشم mwenye cheo.
Tatizo la kupata huduma za afya lilikuwa limewakaba wakazi wa mitaa ya mabanda kwa miaka mingi, lakini kupitia uongozi wa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, mitaa hii sasa inajivunia hospitali za kisasa.
Na wewe unaitwaje?
Wiki hii kwenye Project 254,
I decided that it was important that we have the capacity to give healthcare to where people are.
Tumeona maendeleo imeendelea hapa kwetu Ruben. Saa hii dawa tunapata free, atulipishwi dawa, na tena matibabu yetu yote tunapata free.
Welcome back. Just in case you joined us, this is KBC Lunchtime News. We are glad you're watching. Hard work and consistency, pays. This sits well with Hassan Ramadan, who at the age of 22 convinced his friends in Nairobi's Majengo slums to venture into business. This was in the year 2000. Now the 35-member group is raking in 1.2 million shillings monthly on average from their business in Gikomba. Yusuf Farah spent an afternoon with Ramadan and gives us the story of the uprising youth group. Take a look.
The uprising Plaza Majengo area. This building consists of 29 stalls owned by the uprising youth group. These stalls are for hiring out to businessmen and women dealing in second-hand clothes, otherwise known as Mutumba business. The founder of the group, Hassan Ramadan, shows us around. This isn't, however, where the group started. Ramadan tells me the idea occurred to him in the year 2000. The group started off with these 9 rooms, boosting the earnings during garbage collection.
Then hizo days ilikuwa tu keje na ilipoa sawa. So it to take a lot of years kujaribu kujiput together.
Where this couch sits today used to be a dumping site.
Takataka yote ya huku mtaa wapi Kikomba yote ilikuwa inaletwa hapa. So ilikuwa pia iko na health hazards unakuta hapa kulikuwa moshi, so unakuta zimeingia kwa mahao hapa. Asubuhi unaweza kuta watu hiyo wametupwa, ilikuwa ni mess.
It took the group 3 years of garbage clearance and a little help from the then local administration to get this space which members converted to what it is now. Earnings from this business, coupled with a 600,000 shilling loan from the Youth Enterprise Development Fund, led to the much-needed expansion to create space for the plaza. It has taken 5 years to have the plaza get to this point. Even though it's not complete, the group is reaping big from renting the usable section of the investment.
Sasa hiyo watu wakaona la kumbe place sasa inaweza kuwa business place other than a criminal area. Hivyo mabizi wakaanza kuita wenzao, tukaona kumbe ni kitu inaweza. So through sasa combine hizo incomes hizo project nimekwambia, ndio tukakuwa tunaongeza flow after flow after flow. So na pia ika pick kwa business people wakaona ile place inaweza.
The joint investments have had tremendous ripple effect in the economic growth of the group members. Each one of them boasts of owning a piece of land at Kentafu, Machakos County, over and above being assured of a monthly earning of 16,000 shillings from the business.
So mimi nikiwa niko poa, mimi naenda kujenga. Tukizungumzia mambo ya kuwa empowered like through mambo na leadership, uprising imeplay role kubwa sana.
Kuna mavijana wamefika university level through education assistance from uprising, however little.
As a way of giving back to the society, the uprising youth group has put up this facility to benefit local children.
The only thing itafanya watu hii wakitoka shule wako na place ya kustudy other than kuengage na mtako.
The group hopes to venture into the Mutumba importation business in the future to grow their income and provide more jobs for more youths. As for Ramadan, now 42 years old and a serving GSU officer in the sports unit, his happiness is the ever-evolving narrative in the informal settlements where young people are increasingly becoming agents of change.
Na ndio tunataka kuzidi kuinspire more youths than watu wanaweza utilize what they have other than kungoja employment. Watu wakitumia tu akili na kuangalia environment yao vile iko na nini ina lack, watu wanaweza kumake vitu ambazo zinaweza kuimpact community.
We're standing above the 4th floor of this resource center owned by the self-help group, but the group is not quite done yet. There's plans to upgrade this building to 6 floors further up, and in this way achieve more financial independence for the group and its members. Yusufa reporting for Young and Industrious from Majengo, Nairobi County.
That, and of course, remember, it's a weekly segment, so catch up with Farah for that segment. Elsewhere, a section of members of party allied to the Jubilee Party have called on leaders from the Mount Kenya to stick to the Jubilee Party ahead of the August 9 general election. Githongori MP Gabriel Kago, Kinangop MP Kwea Thuku, and Larry MP John Amburu say every region is associated with a particular party and therefore Central Kenya should popularize Jubilee Party, adding that the party will address development concern in the larger Mount Kenya region.
Political parties' realignments continue to take shape ahead of the August 9th general election that is 157 days away. And as the date to the ballot nears, a section of members of parliament allied to the Jubilee Party want every politician in the larger Mount Kenya region to rally behind the Jubilee Party.
Chama chetu ni Jubilee. Na lazima tujenge chama hii yetu. Na tusiambiwe ya kwamba chama chetu kimekufa. Chama gani ambacho kimekufa kimejenga hizi barabara zote jameni?
Bila chama chetu hakuna siku tunaweza enda kujadiliana kwa meza tujue mlima kutakaliwa nini. Na sisi tuko na uhakika hii serikali utawaliwa na wananchi wakichaguana, alafu wananchi wakichaguana serikali utawaliwa na nguvu ya bunge.
The leaders say every region is associated with a certain political party and Jubilee is the best bet for central Kenya. Speaking in Kiambu, the politicians said that while the region is not fielding a presidential candidate, the interest of the region, especially pertaining development, must be addressed. Meanwhile, former Mbeere South Member of Parliament Mtava Msimi says he will be contesting to recapture the parliamentary seat for Mbeere South in the August 9th elections under the Jubilee Party. Mtava says he will also be campaigning for Orange Democratic Party leader Raila Odinga in his bid to be the 5th president of Kenya.
Na wale ambao mmerudi Jubilee kwa sababu ya vile mmesikia tuko na mkutano Karaba, Makema na Kiretiri, nataka kusema thank you. Tuende sasa tutafute vile tutasupport Raila Odinga.
Irene Mchuma Udim, The Lunchtime News.
And now to more politics. A supremacy battle is looming between Pamoja African Alliance Party and Orange Democratic Movement ODM in Kilifi County over fielding of aspirants in the forthcoming general election. The differences escalated after Kilifi County Governor Amason Jeffa Kingi, who doubles up as PAA or Power Party leader, announced they will support Raila on condition no aspirants are imposed on parties.
Both Pamoja African Alliance and Orange Democratic Movement support ODM party leader Raila Odinga's presidential bid under the Azimio la Umoja, but are battling over other elected seats from governor to member of county assembly in Kilifi County. Kilifi Governor Amason Kingi, who doubles up as the Pamoja African Alliance party leader, claims the outfit is well poised to clinch all the seats.
Tuko na mkataba wa chama cha Jubilee, tumeangalia yale maswala yanatuhusu sote na mtazamo wetu wapa na Jubilee kiuchaguzi unaokuja sasa ni mmoja.
However, members of parliament from the region allied to ODM led by Kilifi County Chairman Teddy Mwambire urged on Kingi to stop issuing demands as if his party has any coalition agreements.
ODM Malinde haijafaa. Tumezungumza na tumepanga mikakati ya kutosha, vijana na kina mama tumeshikamana, hapo ndipo watakapojua kwa hakika ODM iko live Malindi, na ODM itapitisha kila kansela ama kila MCA katika kila ward.
This as ODM Malindi branch officials led by Nixon Mramba urged Kingi to concentrate on building his Pamoja African Alliance party without undermining ODM and its leader.
Hii Kilifi ni ngome ya ODM.
Elsewhere, Kenya's exports of tea, flowers, coffee and fruits to Russia have been delayed due to sanctions imposed on Moscow by the United States and the European Union. This has further been worsened after major shipping lines temporarily suspended cargo shipments to and from Russia in response to the sanctions. Labour Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelugui says the current rerouting of planes from the war-torn country to the Far East has made exports to Russia expensive.
The sweeping sanctions imposed by the West on Russia due to its military activities in Ukraine have turned into a major headache for Kenya, which has been diversifying its export base in Moscow. Kenya has been pursuing aggressively the Russian markets with trade between the two countries, topping 47 billion shillings in 2020, and is expected to reach 100 billion shillings by the year 2030. Russia has become a major buyer of Kenyan tea, flowers and horticulture. Moscow has also been growing as a major source of tourists to Kenya, with Nairobi targeting more chartered flights from the Far East nation. Labour Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelugui has said the blockade of exports is set to double the cost of shipment of commodities, which will directly eat into the returns of smallholder horticulture farmers.
Which is going to affect employers and employees and the how business will be conducted.
Speaking in Mombasa during the ongoing Employers Summit, Chelugui has also expressed fears that if the conflict is prolonged, fertilizer prices are likely to double since Ukraine is a major source of fertilizer for Kenya.
Borrowing across the globe will also be affected because there are embargoes that the world is mobilizing themselves to suspend, to stop, and even block. And that will still have an impact on employers and employees.
There is no two-way out because that is where the world is. If we don't do so, we'll find ourselves irrelevant.
Hibak Said for Lunchtime News.
In other news, potato farmers in Nakuru are set to access high-quality certified potato seedlings or seeds after the national government unveiled a 30 million shillings project. The project, which seeks to fight poverty and hunger by increasing food production, will help local farmers produce high-end potatoes to enable them to access local and global markets, especially the franchises, which are very keen on quality.
Potato yields have remained stagnant over the past decade due to the use of poor quality seeds by small-scale growers, improper post-harvest practices, and climate change, as well as high prices of seeds. Despite being the country's second most important food crop after maize, the local potato industry has been facing a severe shortage of good quality planting materials, which has led to low production. The deal seeks to increase high-quality certified potato seed availability to farmers by 25% through rapid multiplication, increased field seed bulking, and capacity building of commercial seed growers in the county. The project, financed by the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries under the National Agricultural, Rural, Inclusive and Growth Project, involves 66 farmers groups in Joro, Molo, Bahati and Kuresoi North sub-counties. Narib said the construction of 30 diffuse light stores was completed, adding that DLS was a low-cost seed potato storage technology made from locally available materials.
Hii ni moja ya zile stores ambazo vikundi wameweza kufadhiliwa, na katika hii store vile unaweza ona imewekwa na mabati, lakini kuna mabati ambayo tunaita transparent mbili, ndio mwanga iweze kuingia ndani ya store na iweze kuotesha zile viazi kwa njia ambayo inatakikana.
Yego indicated the project has enabled 4,500 farmers in Nakuru to receive the hybrid variety potato planting material that has the potential to produce up to 180 bags of 50 kg per acre, as compared to the traditional variety that produces an average of 40 bags.
Jumla, ukiangalia pia wale wakulima ambao wanategemea hizi vikundi kwa upande wa kuwapea mbegu ni karibu 4,500. Wakitumia mbegu ya kawaida, wakulima wengi wanapata an average of around 40 bags, lakini wakitumia mbegu ambayo imeidhinishwa, unaona mbegu viazi yao inaweza kuongezeka kati ya gunia 150 na 200 kutegemea na vile mkulima ametunza.
The potato growers integrated into the project in the 4 sub-counties are also being linked to selected manufacturers and dealers of farm inputs so as to enable them to buy fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides and other inputs at subsidized cost.
We've also been able to acquire or rather to plan together with the NARIC team a potato storage facility which will be in Meshorwe. We as a county have been able to put in our contribution of about 17 million shillings, and we're now looking into the national government to give us the rest of the funds to start the project. We believe that this project will be very good for the county of Nakuru because that means that we can reduce on wastage, on post-harvest losses as far as potato is concerned.
Reporting for Lunchtime News, I am Teresa Mutai.
Potato, either way, it's a big boost for the farmers. We're taking another break, but before we do that, allow me to appreciate some of you who are watching us via the social media networks. Simon wa Gatanga, niko ndani nikiwa Gatanga. Fatiboy wa Mboa, like KBC News. Oyando Wycliffe, you say thank you for sharing this, watching live from Kisii branch. Enos Omothi tuned in to KBC at 1 p.m. following news from Nairobi CBD. Jerhi Olekip Jerhi, you say you are watching us live. Let's take that break. We'll be right back with more.
I'm involved in ballet, modeling and karate.
Cleaning the environment is very important. It helps people not to get sick.
We will be reading from this particular book, Gamba la Kobe na hadithi nyingine.
Today I'm going to show you guys on how to make the yummiest, fluffiest pancake at home.
I'm going to teach you how to make bubble flowers.
Notions rise, my soul will rest, we all embrace, so I am yours.
Leave my compound. You know you're the only one who can understand me right now.
You of all people should understand where she's coming from.
Good luck with this one.
Wewe na yeye msikanyage kwa ile gate. Ni nani exactly anachukua hiyo nyumba ya watoto?
The problem is everyone wants to get the biggest slice of the cake.
Sina had already stepped out.
Yes, she had.
How beautiful is she?
Who? Njue leo.
Wacha tu maneno ishe.
Jane si bibi yako.
Shame on you. Shame on you, Mark.
Mzee, it wasn't as bad as...
Dad, I'm sorry.
Gives us time to reflect about the challenges that women are facing. What are the opportunities? What are the solutions? And even the progress made so far.
Life just became something else. I saw from a child's eye what ostracization means. You know, widow's ostracization means, where you no longer belong to your family because your parents married you off.
Yes.
And yet now you have no husband, so you no longer belong into your matrimonial community. Every good, every bad, every evil has something to do with who I am. Even the atrociousness of hiding under a bed in a dark, small madhouse with my grandma is the reason I'm out there building homes for ostracized widows.
Yes.
Wiki hii kwenye mkulima tutavuna majani chai.
Majani hakuna wakati inakufa. Vile inafanya ikiwa ndefu unarudisha chini. Inakaa kama mpya.
Kisha tupake rangi nyumba ya mifugo.
Sababu kubwa sana rangi ya mafuta isiweze kupakwa ndani ya nyumba, bidhaa zake nyingi ambazo zimetumika kuitengeneza zimetokana na petroleum. Na ikiwa kutakuwa na in case accident ya moto, inachangia sana moto wake kwa haraka na kusonga.
Ungana nasi Jumapili saa 9:30 kwa mseto kamili wa kilimo hapa KBC Channel 1. Majani ni kati ya viungo.
Are you an aspiring candidate in the upcoming general elections? Do you want your agenda and manifesto to reach your voters effectively? At KBC, we have the most comprehensive and credible online platform that has profiles of all prospective candidates. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants and let Kenyans know more about you, your past achievements, your manifesto, and your development agenda once you get elected to office. office. What's more, the website is easy to navigate. We will create your profile, post pictures and short videos with your campaign messages at affordable hosting fees. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants today and establish your brand authority as we lead towards the forthcoming general elections.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Welcome back to KBC Lunchtime News. Moving on, Kenya's renowned public health professor Dr. Miriam Njue has been nominated for the 2022 Nobel Peace Prize. Dr. Miriam Njue was nominated by American Friends Service Committee and Quaker Peace and Social Witness. Speaking on phone exclusively to KBC Channel 1, Professor Njue said she is excited that her efforts have been recognized globally.
Founded the first Master of Public Health program in Kenya.
Dr. Miriam Njue has been featured on KBC's Legends edition and was recently feted by the government for her contribution to women's development. The latest feather on her hat is nomination for the 2022 Nobel Peace Prize by the American Friends Service Committee and Quaker Peace and Social Witness.
Well, I'm feeling honored. I have had 3 main issues in my life, and one of them was that everybody should have health care. I'm excited mainly because it shows that the things I have been working on are important things. Internationally, they are recognized as very, very important.
Acknowledging that the nomination is an honor, Dr. Njue says her passion for promotion of public health started as she pursued her career in medical school, inspired by various basic problems in the villages.
The way to reduce the disease burden so that you can have a population that is healthy and productive to move forward economically, the way to do that is to prevent disease and to promote health. So the difficult choices I had to make was to decide that I will not go into curative medicine, but prevention and promotion of health.
Dr. Njue says she feels happy to have contributed to the shifting of the official outlook on health from curative occupation to prevention and promotion.
Because you see, when people think about medicine, they think of hospitals. And there is so much preoccupation with those rules, but it is like wiping the floor while the tap continues to leak. You will never have a dry floor. That is the point. So that's one point that I feel very happy that I have contributed to.
Yes.
In Kenya, in Africa, and globally.
The nomination is in recognition of Dr. Njue's tireless work since the 1970s in promoting trust between governments, health authorities, and the citizens through culturally sensitive programs. She currently serves as chairperson of the National AIDS Control Council, NACC, Kenya, coordinating the National HIV/AIDS response in Kenya. The nomination gives her the opportunity to become the second Kenyan to win Nobel Peace Prize after the late Professor Wangari Maathai.
Congratulations to Professor Njue on that feat. From that news, we now head down to the coast, where a section of Orange Democratic Movement aspirants are demanding free and fair party primaries in Mombasa County, alleging a plot to lock them out of the nomination process slated for April. Led by Mombasa gubernatorial hopeful Suleiman Shabal, the leaders have vowed to fight to ensure democracy is realized.
We must lift the standards of our people. We must educate our people. Enough is enough. Okay? And no project will stand in my way. Kama kiongozi ukidanganywa na posters na t-shirts, we have a problem. We have a serious problem. I am urging you, I am begging you, kama viongozi wa Mombasa, be serious about what you're looking for. We absolutely must change Mombasa.
So ukininyima tikiti utakuwa umemnyima nani mashuzi, ama sio? Ukininyima kunde, ama sio? Utakuwa umenipunguzia nini? Nitapata ngaa kulala, ama sio? I will never regret anything. Kwa sababu gani? So far I have done a lot for Changamwe constituency. Tumeelewana? Kwa hivyo ukinipa nafasi nitafanya zaidi. Ukinikosesha nafasi utanipumzisha na mimi pia niangalie mambo mengine ya kufanya. Tumeelewana? So kwa fupi, I'm talking on behalf of Mombasa citizens. Nawaambia nyinyi watu wa Mombasa, musipoteze nafasi yenu kwa sababu ya majina ya watu.
The new leadership of the ruling Jubilee party, led by Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni, held its first National Executive Council meeting where it resolved to extend the registration deadline. The ruling party has also signed a collaboration agreement with the UDM party, led by Mandera Governor Ali Roba.
And we discussed many issues, including the need to extend our deadline, the registration deadline, from 4th to 11th. And this was necessitated by requests or appeals that came from our members. We had a workers here yesterday from one of our regions, and they did express the need for us to extend the registration period. So it is important that we inform our members that we now have extended it to the 4th to the 11th of March.
Elsewhere, Keroche Breweries is facing a bleak future unless urgent interventions are instituted. The company's chief executive, Tabitha Karanja, says its operations are likely to collapse permanently if the company does not resume operations in 7 days. The Kenya Revenue Authority sealed the operations of Keroche Breweries on the 31st of January this year, dealing the brewmaker a major business blow.
Keroche Breweries has been in a long contracted tax tussle with the Kenya Revenue Authority for decades now, but the tension came to a crescendo when the taxman closed down operations of its factory in Naivasha, bringing major operations of the brewer to a standstill. Following the move, over 250 workers are facing the axe if the company operations are not reopened. Keroche Chief Executive Tabitha Karanja says liquor worth over 500 million shillings risk going down the drain within the next 7 days if there are no changes.
The government should evaluate the post-COVID effects and the impact they have on the different sectors of the economy in order to formulate policy measures that will generate the players and the extension the economy.
The company owes the taxman over 300 million shillings in tax arrears and around 250 million shillings in debt to Equity, Family and Absa banks. Karanja is now requesting President Uhuru Kenyatta to intervene in an effort to get the operations of the company on its feet. She says before the COVID pandemic, Keroche used to pay 200 million to the taxman but ran into financial headwinds when the government closed bars and restaurants. The company's attempt to engage with KRA has failed, according to the CEO.
So that now we get back to where we were and even expand and give in more than what we are paying. But because of 300 million debt, I don't think it's right for KRA to stop our operations.
Hibak Said for Lunchtime News.
The 17 billion shillings leather park in Athi River is set to open in May this year after years of delay. The tannery that sits on a 500-acre land will include 14 tanneries and an effluent treatment plant as a Vision 2030 project that seeks to turn Kenya into a leather and hides powerhouse in the region. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya says all the necessary equipment has been installed, awaiting commissioning by the President in 2 months' time.
The global trade in leather products is estimated to be more than $100 billion a year, with the demand for leather and leather products expected to take in the coming years. The Leather City is expected to transform Kenya as a turning hub for the region through procurement of hides and skins and supply of leather in both local and international markets. The Kinania Leather Industrial Park is a Vision 2030 project and has faced many delays due to financing challenges. After years of construction, the facility is now expected to be commissioned in May this year. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya says that the facility will help turn Kenya into a major player of finished leather goods in Africa.
Kinanie Leather Park that is intended to help the country add value to our hides and skins and also create employment for people. So it is part of our strategy to industrialize by utilizing our own resources.
The project is expected to create more than 50,000 direct jobs in the first phase, with a production capacity of 10 million shoes annually.
The target is to not just do the leather, but also produce finished leather products, shoes, and it has a capacity of producing 10 million shoes per year.
Ndutamu Kami for Lunchtime News.
Across borders, South Africa maize farmers are set to benefit from a new high-performing herbicide-resistant seed trait introduced by Cotiva Agri-Science. The technology helps protect crops from damaging above-ground insects such as the maize stalk borer and spotted maize stem borer. Here are the details of this and much more from across Africa.
South Africa's agricultural, food and beverage experts has hit a record high of $12.4 billion, with maize being a significant contributor. Maize is a staple for many across the country, and local farmers will be given the tools they need to help protect their yields. PowerCore technology uses combined modes of action to combat primary and secondary pests that can cause significant crop damage and subsequent production losses. The farmers are to register to get the seeds of good quality, in turn improving their output. Meanwhile, the Agribusiness Capital Fund has announced that it has received its first investment from a corporate global financial institution as Bank of America deploys $5 million. So far, more than 20 investments have been made in 8 countries: Benin, Bolivia, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador, Ghana, Mali, and Uganda. This fund is a blended finance impact investing in smallholder farmers and small to medium-sized rural agribusinesses in developing countries to support sustainable and inclusive agricultural value chains. It's not only building the sustainable value chains of today and tomorrow, but also making a real difference to the lives of thousands of rural families, women, and young people. Africa Cryptocurrency Exchange VALR.com has announced that it raised $50 million. This is Africa's largest ever crypto funding round and brings the company's valuation at $240 million. It will offer its customers the ability to safely buy, sell, and store Bitcoin and 60 other cryptocurrencies at some of the lowest fees in the world, being the widest selection of any platform in Africa. It has processed over $7.5 billion in trading volume since its launch in 2019 and now serves over 250,000 retail customers and 500 institutional clients from across the globe.